Hello and welcome to Polly Knits channel on YouTube. Thanks for coming back if you're watching me again. I've changed the locations a little bit because I have a new room. So, same room, different style, I guess. So, I'm Polly Knits, and I'm Polly Knits on Instagram, and I'm Polly81 on Ravelry, and the blog is Polly Knits, and Twitter is a no-go for me. I don't really want to do that. And, Facebook, I don't invite anyone to. And I don't even go on Facebook very often anymore. I don't know. It's a time waster for me. So, that's me. That's where you could find me. And I post a video on the Ravelry group, so go over there and join and check that out so you don't miss it. I plug on Instagram, so a lot of you guys found me there. Which, by the way, thank you, Instagram, because now I'm at 1,005 followers. So that's so awesome, and thanks, because Instagram is my jam. As Calsters would say, that's my jam. From Dramatic Knits podcast. As far as show notes go, I don't tag people like I just said Dramatic Knits. I'm not gonna make him come and it'll if you tag someone it sends them a message, so I don't want to bother people either. And unless I really need to. But in the show notes I don't really do too much. If you have any questions at all about any of my projects, please just send me a message on Ravelry, hit me up on Insta, and yeah. So what I've been up to here lately, while I've been gone, I've been traveling a bit. I went to graduation in Reading for my niece Diana. And then I came home for like 2 days, and then we drove to Santa Cruz for my nephew's graduation. Reading, it was really hot, so they had to have the graduation at 8 o'clock at night. And then when we went to Santa Cruz, it was raining, kind of misting and wet and foggy and overcast. So that was different. And so that was fun to see two young, promising people graduate from high school. I did get some knitting done in the car on those trips. I was knitting on... I believe I was knitting on a sweater I started that you guys have not seen. I'll talk about that in Works in Progress. So after we got back from Santa Cruz, we left again, and we went to San Francisco, which is in the Bay Area. So we were there for 3 days, and we had a lot of fun. There's no pink party anymore. It's just the festival and the parade. So we sat there for like 5 hours watching the parade. I shared pictures on Instagram if you want to go check those out. I'm not going to post them in the podcast. This whole time I've also been painting my bathroom, and it's gone really slow because the cabinets are awful. But I actually painted all of it. So that took a lot of time. I even painted the sink cabinet, got a new sink, got a new toilet. And then I had paint left over, and I really hate my door jamb in my office because it wasn't ever painted properly. So I painted that. And I'm sorry if you hear me kicking something. I'm on a stool here. And then my new desk is a dining room table, our old dining room table, so I pulled that out, put it up on those sawhorse things, and I painted the bottom of it a light gray color. It'll go with my office, because my office is like a really light blue. And I'm trying to get it organized. It's much better now. So while all of this painting and reorganizing my office was going, it was the day Tour de Fleece was starting. Which, if you don't know what that is, it's when us spinners spin along to the race that's in France, the Tour de France. And honestly, I have not even been watching the Tour de France. I just haven't. So, I guess I should watch a few days of it at least. I'm spinning with Acreworks. Um, I just pick one team and go with it. Having all kinds of teams is just too much for me to handle. So, um, I've been doing Tour de Fleece, and let's see, and then also I've been having to go to the eye doctor a lot because my doctor just called me again saying you have to come back in. I think he wants to check my right eye again, and like I take my medication when I'm supposed to. I never skip it. I take drops in the morning and drops at night, and so at the moment I'm having issues because it's not really helping. But that's okay. I got the doctor, so he can help me out. His office is across the street from my house, so it's just up around the corner. So that's pretty much what I've been doing. Happy 4th of July, everyone. Happy Canada Day. Today is July 9th. Um, so I also have a couple podcasts I want to talk to you guys about. I had somebody on Instagram ask me more about podcasts. A lot of people are searching for podcasts to watch. So there is a blog spot. If you type in knittingpodcast.blogspot, she keeps that updated. It's an updated list of all the podcasts. So that's one way to find out. And then another way is to go on Ravelry and search in the group tab and put in podcasts. And a lot will pop up. And then, so one that I just found today is called the Yarn Pimp Podcast. It's from New Jersey, and let me tell you, Stephen West is on the first episode. It's so awesome. I mean, if you love hedgehog fibers, if you love bright neon yarn, if you want to hear somebody who really knows their stuff about yarn and fiber and color, she's a color expert, the Yarn Pimp. And so check her out. I have not seen it on Ravelry yet. She owns a knitting shop called Do You Knit. DOEWEKNIT. Do You Knit. So she's pretty amazing. I would definitely check that one out. She's got about 3 episodes so far, and I'm on episode 2. And another podcast that I'd like to talk to you about is called Knit Style. For the longest time, I thought that they were a magazine, and I never clicked on their YouTube videos because there was a magazine called Knit Style. So I just ignored it, and then recently I found out it was not that magazine. It's a husband and wife who podcast together, and he doesn't knit very much. She knits constantly, and she's a dyer, and he goes by Yarn Boy, and Sharon goes by the Stitch Mistress on Ravelry, and every week he will, I think he's doing it. He's kind of telling us about a different drink because they podcast from behind the bar a lot of the time at their house. And recently they got their pool redone, so now they're podcasting from the swimming pool. So I highly suggest checking them out. They are a hoot. It's just really fun to see them podcast together and interact. So those are the 2 I'm going to talk about. Maybe I'll just tell you about a couple podcasts each time I record. So, foes, and by the way, yes, I do have show notes this week. Or this show. Okay. So you guys remember I was working on the Monkey Hill Mitts by Mary Rubens, I think her last name is. I didn't write everything on the show notes. Okay, so here they are. They're finished. They are lacy. I think they're cool. I did have to go down several needle sizes and take out about 5 stitches on each wrist, on the inside of the wrist, and then I kept the count on the lace part the same because, yeah, I don't want to mess that up. They're still a bit baggy, if you could see that, but that's fine. I think they're cool. I just wanted to knit them, so I don't really know what I'm going to do with them. I kind of have all these plastic tubs that are just filled with knitted finished projects. And so, let's see here. Let me tell you more about these. The yellow is Knit Pick Stroll, and the brown is Knit Picks Pellets. I know that's the bison colorway. And I actually did forget what the yellow is, so you could actually look at my project page. I keep it up to date. That's the one thing I keep up to date. So those are mitts. I don't know if I'm just a loose knitter or what, but these came out so big. So no one else seemed to have the problem. I don't know what else I could have done to make them even smaller. But I enjoyed the knit. So check those out and support a podcaster, because that's a podcaster's pattern. And my next finished object is right here, and it's a stripy hat. I thought it was pretty cool. It actually inspired me to start a sweater, which I did not finish, but so this is just a 2x2. Yeah, and I'm not sure what the yarns are. Oh, this one is Quince and Company Knit Picks. Up here, the purple is Knit Picks. The gray is, oh, it's my favorite yarn. I can't think of it. Bamboo. It's a bamboo blend. Oh, this is Cascade. This is Malabrigo. And I don't know what the dark one is, but there you go. So what I've done is I've put everything on my cart, one of my carts, and as I'm talking about it, I'm just going to put it down below. Okay, here's the next thing I finished. It's the Entrelock scarf, which I've been working on forever, and I do not have the ends woven in, so the knitting's finished, but the object is not. I love it. It's acrylic. It's Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn and the Aegean stripe. I will have it washed and woven in by the time winter comes. I plan on getting a lot of use out of this. And now that that's done, I don't have to continue to show that on the podcast. Look at me, I just said podcast. Does it really matter? Okay. So that took me forever. Let's see here. One more finished object. Okay. So I showed you this yarn. It was in a big, giant, squishy ball. And this is Lion Brand ice cream something. And I believe this is the banana split colorway I told you about. And I did finish 5 hats. Creamy hats. So they're really cute and fun to do, and it made me enjoy the yarn. I want to knock some more of those out. And I have no idea where they're going because I haven't actually figured that out yet. Okay. I don't know if our hospital takes donations, and the hospital's across the street from me too. So, now we're going to move on to works in progress, and you guys already know that I've been working on this. This is the Mary Maxim throw. I don't know where it is. I got the bag down, but here's the pattern. You're just going to keep seeing a big dark blob on the podcast. So I'll show that next time if I get any progress on it. Next whip. 2x2 hat. I had some yarn left over from that scarf, as you can see, and I just wanted to use it, so I cast on a 2x2 hat. I would like to just try to use this all up. And that hat's actually pretty cool, so I think one of my nephews is gonna love it. So that's that. Oh, and I don't know what size that's on. I'm guessing it's a 5 or a 6. Okay, we're going through this pretty quick. Okay, and so I did start another project. I started a stripy sweater that kind of looked like the hat. And here's a picture. So that's the sweater. I tried it on underneath the arms and it fit okay, and then my next plan was to knit to the waist, try it on, see how it looked, and I looked like a stuffed sausage. It was really tight. And so I ripped all those out and I'm starting a different sweater. That sweater had all kinds of yarn in it. I mean, I striped the heck out of it, and then after I looked at it, I was thinking to myself, I don't really want to knit it now. And someone on Instagram told me you gotta follow your instincts, so that's really good advice. And my next project is out of this book, Knitting Without Tears. If you're interested in knitting a sweater and having someone hold your hand all the way through, from swatch all the way to the end, this is a older book, but it's got a couple different styles of sweaters. They're all in the round, and they're seamless, so they work from the bottom up. You work from the bottom up, and then you'll start your sleeves and you'll attach them, and then you'll start whatever top you pick. So from here up you could either pick like raglan, which has those increases, or you could pick a yoke, which you could do color work around this chest area, or you can do a seamless hybrid, which is a saddle shoulder. And you know, the thing about the flax sweater that I wasn't happy with was their shoulders. So I was trying to adjust that to suit me more, because the neck goes really pretty far out here, and there's like that much shoulder when I knit it. There's something wrong. What I think might have happened is that they wrote up one pattern and then they did some kind of generator for all the other sizes, but they didn't knit those sizes. Honestly, I think that they should go back and knit every size. The flax sweater. That's what I've been trying to. Okay, so here's a yoke. That's what a yoke looks like. And it's not a pattern, it's a chapter. So she actually talks you through. See, there's that little picture of the arms and the body. So by showing you this, you're not going to get any of her patterns or anything, because there's no pattern. You have to actually make your own pattern as you go. Here's a raglan sweater, and I made that one, and so here's a picture of that. Okay. And that was made with Patton's Classic wool, which I really didn't like, and I hated the sweater when I finished it, and now I've lost a bit of weight, and I tried it back on, and it actually looks pretty dang good. So here is this, this is a saddle shoulder sweater, and then there's another one called the Seamless Hybrid. let's see if I can find it. Oh, it's really a dark picture, but I just love it. So that's a seamless hybrid by Elizabeth Zimmerman, and that's what I've cast on. Well, technically not yet, because if you remember, I had that gray sweater that was all cables and beautiful, and it was pieced, and I had to sew it all together. I ripped it out. I was just ripping stuff out, so I have that yarn drying. It's all washed, and so I had one ball of it still. It was a Cascade 220 Super Wash. So you could see this down here is number 8, and I put 8 holes in that so that I would know. So that's a US 8 needle. This up here is a 7. I'm sorry, Metric Revolution here. I know that there are not only US people watching, so let's see. So the 8 is 5.0. The 7 is 4.5. The 6 is 4.0. And the 5 is 3.75 in metric. So there you go. And this is a worsted weight yarn. Right now I'm in the progress of seeing which fabric I like better, because you can use any gauge for the sweater. So I don't know if I want loose or tighter. I like the 7. You can't see that, but oh, look at that! I just dropped like 30 stitches. Oh well. So that's my other work in progress. I think I found this book at a used bookstore in my town. Someone donated it. So but yeah, this book is great. It's very, very basic, very, very black and white. If you go to schoolhousepress.com, I think .com, they have a lot of videos for sale, and they've got patterns for sale. And Elizabeth Zimmerman's daughter is still running the business, and what's her name is Meg Swanson, I think. Okay, so that's all of the whips I have. Oh, I didn't bring down any stash enhancement. That's all the notes I have. I don't have any other notes for anything else I've done. But Tour de Fleece has been really, really fun, guys. So let's talk about Tour de Fleece. I know that not everybody is a spinner, so I'll keep this at the end. And I'll put some pictures at the end, too. So what I just took off the wheel. This is Huckleberry Knits, Under the Sea colorway. And it is Targhee and silk. So I love it. It's a 3-ply. And the thing about a 3-ply is that a lot of times if you don't measure your fiber out correctly, or just something happens, you'll get uneven bobbins, which make it to where, what do you do with that? So here we go. This is after that came off the bobbins, I had some left, and so I plied them together as a 2-ply. And these have been soaked and beaten. If you look at the Ravelry for hand spun, the attributes of whatever you're spun, it asks you, what did you do to it? Did you beat it? Do you weigh it? Did you? So I just take this and I just whack it in the shower against the tile wall, and that's what I do to all my fiber. And then I hang it in the shower. We have a spare bathroom, and we don't really have any guests, so that's my fiber dryer. Of course it is. So that was Under the Sea. Okay. Next, I haven't even showed any fiber on this podcast, on this show. So this was called What You See. It was from Dramatic Knits. It's a chain ply. And my wheel hated me and screwed. Maybe I didn't spin the thing right because it kept breaking. The single, I didn't spin the single right. Those are my homemade little construction paper tags, and it's a chain ply, 138 yards, worsted weight, and I wrote there are knots in this yarn. So that's off the wheel. And I have this. This was a 1 ounce bat. There is one piece of glitter. It said that there could be glitter in it. One piece. That's all I got. It's pretty cool. I like what it's doing. It'd make a good stripe, or even like a border to wrist cuffs, or fingerless mitts. It'd be pretty as a border. It's really delicate. I'm sure there's alpaca in it. I'm sure there's merino probably. This was spun up on an Acrework spindle. Drop spindle. So that's that. Very enjoyable to spin. I got that at Pearl Essence in Sunnydale, California, I think. That's where they are, but I bought it at Stitches West. And today is day 9 of Tour de Fleece, which is supposed to be a challenging day, and I did pull something challenging out, but I didn't finish my last project yet because I'm too slow. Oh, I didn't show you this one. Oops. Sorry. This is Merino and Tessa Silk from A Verb for Keeping Warm. Limited edition. I got a sport weight of 101 yards, and it's just a 2-ply. This was also done on the spindle. It's already been inked up. Let's see if I can ruin it. I love it. It's so gorgeous. Silk blends are just so cool. And they spin themselves. I've never actually knit with sport yarn. So, I don't know what to do with sports. I thought sport was more like a baby weight. There we go. Alright. And so, okay, back to today is day 9 of the tour. And I bought this at a local fiber festival in my town. It's Romney, 100% Romney wool, and it's 4 ounces. These are called Rologs. Rologs. Can't say it, can't spell it. Whatever. And they're cool, and they're supposed to be a challenge. So I've never done long draw on this particular spinning wheel. And it's time to give it a try. These are ready to go. I've had them for too long. Let's get these on the wheel. And so that's pretty much what I've been doing, is enjoying the tour. Spinning, podcast. That's all I've been doing this week. So I better get back to it. Maybe I'll pull that lace blanket out and work on that. And I'm excited for my yarn to dry to start the sweater. So Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing what I'm up to. Keep sharing your stuff on Instagram. I'm really